All right, Bitcoin's making a comeback and altcoins are pumping. So what is the best altcoins to get into right now? Well, right now, did you know that the richest man in the world is no longer Elon Musk, right? A new guy has replaced him. And what industry is he in? That is what is causing a major pump in this same narrative in crypto right now. This guy, whatever industry, Larry Ellison, his name's Larry Ellison, he's American. What industry is he in? That industry is causing a major pump in crypto as well, and also in some stocks. I'm going to share with you guys a few cryptos and one stock that is doing very well in the last 2 or 3 days because of this phenomenon. But I think it's only just getting started because it's very real. It made Larry Ellison's fortune jump by 1 billion or 100 billion in one day. 100 billion in one day. So yeah, pretty amazing. First, let's go through Bitcoin, see where we are right now. Exactly as I said, we're going to break this neckline, right, of a shoulder, head, shoulder, and touch this this key resistance line and pull back. And people are like, oh, what are you talking about, Pablo? What you talking about, man? What you talking about, Willis? Where is the head and shoulders? Well, let's put it on a smaller time chart so then we can see it. And now we can see it better because it's on the 1 hour chart. So here we see it's shoulder here, head, shoulder. So I said, we probably get a pullback, right? Retest this shoulder, double top, a double bottom here, and then bounce up, right? And then break this neckline. As I said, for the last 3 days when I was retesting, I said, I think we should break through, get here and pull back. That's what we're doing right now, 116. And look how important this 116.2 area is, right? All these pivot bottoms, right? Pivot bottoms. Here was a fake out, pivot top, pivot bottom, right? Fake out, and now fake out again, right? I think we take a little bit of time here, right? And then push through. So on the daily chart, this is what it looks like. Eventually, I think we get a breakthrough. And then the target of this head and shoulders gives us around 119K area, around here. Which makes sense because you got a bunch of tops here at 119K. Once we break through that, which I think eventually comes, and then I'm leaning towards us going for another big leg up. Remember, my target has been around 140 to 165K area. Technically, I said above 120 is the minimum, very minimum technical expectation. We've hit that. So, but now look, realistically, I think 140 to 160 something area. So the reason why is because look, this is SP500. It's doing quite well. We've just hit new high after new high after new high. So so this is important. This is important to because I keep on saying, I keep on checking the stock market with you guys, and I keep on saying, look, if the stock market is doing well, then I am not worried about a Bitcoin. Yes, it can drop 20%, it can go down 25%, but then it eventually bounces back because as long as SP500 and Nasdaq are doing well, then Bitcoin should be doing well. And just for folks who are new to what I am saying, basically here is, let me put on the weekly chart where we are, 5 waves in Elliott wave. So this is COVID bottom, which now looks tiny. We got wave 1, 2, that was the bear market of 2022, and then wave 3, 4, and I've been calling for blow off top, something like this. 5 would get us to around 670 to 700 area on the SPY, which is the SP500 ETF, somewhere around there. And then boom, major bear market coming, starting probably at the end of this year. I still think we top in Bitcoin September to November, so we're already in that zone now. But I think one more leg up is the way it goes. And so let's have a look at what is pumping right now. So this is very good to see because Bitcoin is making a move, but ETH is making a 3% move. ETH is making a 3% move. So all the ETH stocks that I've spoken about, such as Bitminer, such as SBET, right? If folks haven't gone in on the dip, then now's still a chance to get in. I think ETH is going to go about 5,000. And also, what is this hot narrative that's just made a new richest man in the world, Larry Ellison, new richest man in the world, and which cryptos and stocks are pumping because of it? Before we answer that question, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo He-Man use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means the IRS can't see you. That means the exchange itself can't even see you. So IRS can't see you, the tax office can't see you, FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. Total privacy. That's why Pablo's made this deal with them, right? Only on the Pablo He-Man link. And they have all these sorts of wonderful competitions, like $700,000 in this comp, over $100,000 in this comp, token splash, all these wonderful comps going on. And it's something that I use. I showed folks that I used it to trade World Libertyfy, which is trying to climb out of a bottom. Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. Remember, that still is only on Pablo's link. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching on any other platform, that's okay. Just click on my profile page, and then inside is my link tree or stand link, and it should be the first deal that pops up because this is a wonderful deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. And remember, this deal is only on the Pablo He-Man link, only on the Pablo link. Okay, let's get back to it. So, what I wanted to show you guys is, well, ETH is looking good here because it's like, look, this is, put it on logarithm. We didn't even touch this line. So when it bounces off this line, it has a chance of breaking down. ETH was so strong, didn't even touch his trend line. That's very good. And if we get too many taps, too many knocks on the door, then eventually the door breaks down. So this is a very good swing up, and I think ETH is probably on its next leg. We shouldn't see ETH below 4,100 again. I think ETH, if it closes like this, right, at something like 45.90, if it closes here on this Friday afternoon US time, then it should just keep on swinging up. So basically, let's have a look at ETH versus Bitcoin. ETH versus Bitcoin. Yeah, well, look at that. Okay, so what have I been saying? I've been saying ETH versus Bitcoin. This is you want to call that a bull flag or bull pennant, right? Bull triangle, however you want to call it. It's basically a consolidation pattern. I said we're breaking up and we're going to the next leg up. So next leg up, resistance would be somewhere around here, 0046. But realistically, the major big kahuna resistance to get over is around here, 0054. 0054. Why is that? I'll show you guys on the weekly chart. I've spoken about this a number of times before. Here is worth updating. 0054. Look at how many times we've got rejected here, either from the upside or from the downside. So major level. I think we're breaking out here. Boom, boom, hit that and pull back, and then up we go again. But what's even more worth checking out is this. So basically, total 2 is the total altcoins market cap, not including Bitcoin. So this is included Ethereum and all the top 150 altcoins. And look at this. Would you look at that? We are about to make highest closing history here. This is on a weekly chart. If we close here for this weekend, right, at where we are, then we have closed higher than 2021 top. We have closed higher than December 24 top when Trump got elected, right? And then if we confirm above here, I would think highly likely, very good odds, we keep on going. We keep on going, and that's the altcoin season. And remember, this represents the top 150 altcoins. So this is a Fibonacci extension chart. So basically, if we were to swing up here, one likely target, minimum target, is this 2 trillion area, or 1.66 trillion. and then after that, 1.618 trillion. I think that's the target to aim for. So sorry, 2.81 trillion, or 1.618 on Fibonacci projection, 2.81 trillion. And if we're really optimistic, then 4 trillion. That's 2.5x from here, right? 2.5x from here. So that's why I think 2 trillion minimum target and 2.8 trillion likely target. 4 trillion is what we can hope for, but that's an optimistic target. Great runs if we do get there. Okay, so but then you say, oh yeah, that's just because ETH is doing well, Pablo. That's because ETH is doing well. There is no altcoin season. Let's look at this. If we were to remove ETH from the equation, have a look at this. So this is the top 150 coins, but not including Bitcoin or ETH. Not including Bitcoin or ETH. So what would that look like? Okay, what would that look like? Pretty much the same. Look at that. Look at this chart. So basically, we've got this area around here, 1.14 trillion, right? Because we've removed Bitcoin and ETH. November 21, top of last cycle. December 24, top of this cycle. And now basically the top as well of where we are currently. And you know what? The chart I showed you guys before, right? Total 2 or this total 3, basically in my mind they're all a massive cup and handle pattern that was made over the last 4 years. So this has been 4 years in the making, right? From 21 to now 25. 4 years in the making, and when it blows off, once again, so I'm thinking we get to 1.6-ish trillion. We're at 1.14 right now, and then 2.2-ish area trillion, and then 2.6 is probably likely target. So more than doubling. I mean, this 3 trillion here and 3.4 trillion here. These targets are probably optimistic, but it can happen. But you know, if we get very bullish. Okay, so what is this narrative that I've been talking about? What is this narrative that is making all these people, people like Larry Ellison, the richest person in the world? Larry Ellison eclipses Elon Musk as the world's richest person, right? Ellison tops Musk as the world's richest man after $101 billion gain in one day. $101 billion gain in one day. What are they talking about? They're actually talking about, well, Larry Ellison. Here are the coins, by the way. Larry Ellison actually is the founder of Oracle. Oracle, most people are not familiar with it. It's basically cloud data centers. It sounds boring. That's why no one's heard of it. But it's now a $1 trillion stock. And I might just actually show you guys what the stock looks like. Oracle. ORCL. That's the stock. New York Stock Exchange. And we can see that, okay, this is what happened this week. Boom, went straight up. And let's put it on the daily chart so folks can see it better. So we can see that it had this massive jump, right? Massive jump this week, right? Made him richest person in the world. And then boom, it's coming down. Do a bit of gap fill. Probably, I reckon it stops around 257 and then goes up. But what happened was he essentially signed a major deal. What Oracle does is it has all these data centers, stores your data from, if you're a business, even if you're like a major business, if you're like, say, let's say if you're Sony PlayStation, if you are not Amazon, they kind of have their own AWS. Let's say if you are eBay. Let's say if you are let's go through NVIDIA, right? A lot of these top American enterprises would probably use Oracle to store their data. They don't just store data; they also provide cloud compute as well, because it doesn't take much effort for them to switch their storage, memory CPUs, chips, semiconductors to GPUs were the ones you use for calculating. So that's what they're going to do. And they've signed a $300 billion contract with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. So massive, like it made, for a stock that is almost $600 billion, it jumped 33%. Like 40% in one day. That's pretty amazing. 40% for a $600 billion stock. I mean, imagine this. That's like saying, imagine if Ethereum jumped 40% in one day. So what happens now is basically, look at this. This is the list of the top performing DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure. It's called DePIN, right? That's the narrative that's hot right now. We can see some coins in the last, this is not last 7 days. I know I said 7 days, but this news only broke in the last 3 days, really. Have a look at how much is gone. It's produced like 3-4 coins, which had 100% runs. Now, the coin we should be most familiar with is number 4 on this list, ATH. ATH, right, should not be making this sort of run because it's actually having a coin unlock. All its coins are unlocked right now, like monthly unlocks. So therefore, you think the coin holders would be selling, but it's actually making this kind of move. And full disclosure, I did do a promotion for ATH about a year ago. I'm no longer under contract with them, so not sponsored. So that's quite amazing, right? It's even though on the day it's supposed to be dumping because this week or so, a lot of the whales, VCs get their coins unlocked, but it's not. Another one, what's another name we recognize here is Render, of course. Render has it used to be one of the largest, still probably is the largest, 2 billion market cap, but probably like 3 billion FDV on this list. Like ATH is only 690 million, but probably much larger FDV because still unlocking. And look at Render. This 4 billion coin is actually making a big run. Not sponsored by Render. The Render was kind of the original what they call AI coin because it was all about AI infrastructure because NVIDIA was making a big run. That's the company that sells most of the world's top grade GPUs. So Render was making a run, and just wanted to point out another one. I think Netmind definitely. Helium is DePIN, but it's not. It's not. Helium is DePIN as in decentralized physical infrastructure, but it's not in this strictly in this narrative of doing GPUs and cloud computing. Netmind, NMT is Axon DAO. Axon DAO has had a decent run as well, and that's a coin I've spoken about in the last. It's definitely gone up more than 7%. That's false. It's come from 5 cents to about 80 cents. So I am sponsored with we're partnered with Axon DAO. That's a coin I mentioned 2 days ago about how it's doing. So storage, not sponsored, but that's about, as the name implies, about data storage. So that's in that as well. There are a lot of coins, Jasmine, a lot of coins in that category, right? So I think this category could still keep, this narrative could be still hot for another 2-3 weeks or even month, because these are coins that genuinely have a revenue. They actually rent out their GPUs or data centers for other businesses, and they make an income, and then they use that income to burn coins or whatever. It's not too dissimilar from what Oracle does. Okay, now what's the stock that benefits from all this? And the stock that benefits from all this is actually another large cap. Oracle was already 600 billion. This one's around 300 billion. It's called the Alibaba Group, or BABA. And basically, like the coins, for you to run data centers on a large scale, like the way Oracle does, there's Amazon that does it in the US. Elon Musk does it as well. I'm not sure if that's under Tesla or under one of his other companies, but I do know that he's installed something like 10,000 or is 100,000 GPUs in like 1 month. So of those NVIDIA GPUs. So Baba, so out in the United States, all these companies are now $1 trillion companies. Baba's also reacted to this news and had a big jump as well, but Baba is that's not the only reason driving up Baba. I'll do a full analysis of Baba inside my Discord, but this is essentially the second largest data center, AI, cloud computing, cloud data center provider in China. The largest one being Huawei. Huawei is not listed on the stock exchange, so keep an eye out for this one as well. I'll do a full analysis of this inside my Discord. Okay, thank you for your time, folks. I'll catch you next episode.